just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed, derailed. Just drive all the way to the rainbow's end. Just drive, and we'll never turn our backs again. So this is how we end up. The game is set to play. Every day remains the same now. One decision we obey. I just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed, derailed. Just drive all the way to the rainbow's end. Just drive, and we'll never turn our backs again. Just drive. Just
If you scroll down one to cameras, you'll be able to change the view to cockpit view.
Do you know if there's a way you can do it with a button?
Yeah, you can do it with a button. You just have to use your stick. You know where your stick is? You need to go inside it. You know where you... I think you got the left and right control pad stick.
Yeah,
control pad stick.
Pick up the controller.
Yeah. The one on the above the stick anyway, the analog stick. where the camera, where you can go from camera to on board to broadcast.
Yeah. I got this on 2020. There was an option. I think if I pressed square or something, I could change the view without having to put up the menu. But there's something weird about this game. But anyway, it looks like
the square menu and then you scroll down to camera type.
Yeah, that's the bit of a long-winded route, but I don't know of any other way to do it. But it looks like Tannis is in bits. He's bringing the end of his soft still. So the question is, does he put a set of mediums on, try and go to the end? It looks like he is doing exactly that. RaKiMaJe, for the time being, inherits the race to lead, and he's now got his son Djphil-green in second place. So it is a Red Bull 1-2 here. The father leading the son, but the son is more likely to come out on top in this one because he's currently pit stop ahead essentially. So we're expecting that Djphil-green should jump RaKiMaJe once RaKiMaJe comes into the pits, because obviously 3 seconds separating them. He's definitely going to jump him. That is for sure. There's no doubt whatsoever. How about that? Game4Life currently sat in 3rd place, and he's done 7 laps on those mediums. Ooh. This is an interesting one actually, because 7 laps that he's done on those medium tyres right now, he's put them on lap 11. If he was to go to the end of this race, Game4Life would have to do 18 laps on it. Now obviously we've got to bear in mind that the safety cars are for a couple of laps during those laps, so maybe, just maybe, if Game4Life is really good to his tyres, he could potentially go to the end of this race. But then if he is able to stretch it all the way to the German flag, it would still be a really tall task for him to reel in Djphil-green, who's 7 seconds behind him at the moment. So all these questions at the moment, but Game4Life could potentially try and go to the end, in which case he would most likely get rid of RaKiMaJe. He's got a couple of seconds back to Tannis. He's sort of keeping the gap at around 2 seconds to Tannis. But I wonder if Game4Life is going to try and go to the end on his mediums. One man who can definitely go to the end is Djphil-green. He's done only a lap on those, and he's taken to the German flag. Right now he's in the box seat to take the race win, and we see there his father RaKiMaJe moving over to the side. So that is team orders there from the Red Bull camp, obviously saying, look, Djphil-green is faster at this point, and he's already made that pit stop. So that is switch over there, quite a clear indication that those two swap positions, and now RaKiMaJe is running in second place. He's still going to make that pit stop. The question is now, is he going to be able to stay ahead of Hasbas currently running in 6th? Ozankin might need to pit again because he's been on those medium tyres for 12 laps. I think he will definitely need to pit again. Ozankin needs to come in at some point. So yeah, he's not really a threat to RaKiMaJe. I reckon RaKiMaJe is probably able to come P4 in this race. That's got to be what he's targeting this one. It all depends on what Game4Life does in the pits. Is he going to come in again, or is he going to try and long it out right till the end of the race? But right now, Djphil-green looks like he's got not a whole lot to concern him at this point. He's led the race since pretty much the first couple of 100 metres. He started in 2nd place. I believe he hasn't led every lap actually, no, because RaKiMaJe led a couple of laps after he made his pit stop. But he's led most of this race as Djphil-green, and he is looking very good here with 10 laps left to go for the opening round of this season. RaKiMaJe sat in P2 at the moment. He's 3.7 off at the back of Djphil-green, but he needs to come into the pits at some point before the end of this race. He's not going to get those medium tyres to the end. Game4Life might be able to get his tyres to the end, but they're going to be on a knife edge by the end of it, that is for sure. As we can see, Ozan
kept in reserve during that safety car period though.
Yeah, maybe he was able to look after his tyres enough. Like we said, Game4Life did a couple of those laps during that stint under the safety car, so potentially he's only really doing about 15 laps of racing. Oh my goodness! Djphil-green's out of the race! No way! The race leader's crashed out of the race! Where is his car? This could be a safety car here. I might be able to do it under double wave yellows here, but Djphil-green is out of the race. That is unbelievable!
And Game4Life is in 2nd.
Oh my goodness, you've got to feel for Djphil-green. You really have, honestly. That is so gutting there for him. We have got a safety car, and this could actually play into the hands of RaKiMaJe, so it could be damage limitation here. in terms of the Red Bull team, because now they're all going to get a free pit stop, and if RaKiMaJe brings it in, he'll come out in third place. So now this really does play into the hands of RaKiMaJe. He could potentially be on for a race win here, but Game for Life and the Tannis both right there are going to be in contention for this one. But wow, that is...
Game for Life is coming in.
Honestly, my heart really does go out to Giovannini right now. So RaKiMaJe gets a bicycle penalty, a bit like that. Tannis does as well. So they both get done there for going a bit too hard into the pits. We saw Ryan fall with Tannis there, almost ran into the back of him. So both got done at the same time. He's just watching the car in front, not really paying attention to the speedometer at all. But these three coming out, and RaKiMaJe maintains P1 here. So maybe, just maybe, with Joe out of the race, it could be damage limitation. They've obviously lost a few points there, but maybe RaKiMaJe can restore some pride there and bring it home for the race win. But we've got 9 laps left to go here at Bahrain. Definitely don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, because this is going to be a very exciting end to this race. We've got many laps there saying, no! That's not true. You see it, Tannis is out of the race. What's happened to Tannis? Did you see what happened there for a while? He just disappeared. No, he's like somebody over a wing coming through turn 1. Coming through somewhere. Yeah, let's just have a look here. Watching you like you can see it going to oh my goodness.
He's gone into the back of him. We do not know.
Pretty heavily by the looks of it. I wonder if somebody out there is going to have some rear wing damage or some suspension damage, because he's clearly gone in at quite a rate of knots into the back of someone out there. All these cars looking pretty good nick, so potentially a bit of lag going on up there. It's been an unbelievable opening round for the season. We wanted drama, we wanted excitement, and we have certainly got it. As somebody's lagging a bit there, but we're starting off with 12. So this really has been one of the more eventful races here for Motor Racing's F1 League. Tannis has left the session, so unfortunate there to see him drop out. But RaKiMaJe now leading this race, and Game for Life is all over him when we go for this restart. So now Game for Life started on pole, just down to the back of the pack in the early stages. He's now got himself very much back in the hunt here. So this could get very tasty indeed. As guys in third, and you lacking one at the back of this now intact of cars that are going to finish this Bahrain Grand Prix for the first round here of the season of Motor Racing. First ever race in F1 2021. A bit of teething issues, everybody was getting to grips with it. But this has absolutely blown this one wide open here, with RaKiMaJe and Game for Life set to battle this one out for the race victory. One man you've got to feel sorry for is Joe, because he's done pretty much everything he had to do in this race. He's been driving faultlessly out there, but unfortunately it's just one little step of the concentration is all it's taken, and he's out of this race. There's at the time 9 laps left to go. He says in the comments there it was the chicane in 5th and 6th gear, spun on the exit, and he's saying he had old medium tyres anyway. I thought he could have gone to the end on those tyres, but maybe not. Oh no, that's not John, but you've got Game for Life there saying under the safety car, saying that he's going to go for a win on this one, and I'm not surprised about that at all. He's right behind RaKiMaJe. RaKiMaJe's going to have to get his elbows out. Something special here in these last 2 laps. If he is going to keep Game for Life at bay, he's going to have to really work with this one, that is for sure. And his own team running on the soft tyres for this final stint, and obviously with the safety car being out all the way up to the end of lap 22 at least, this could be playing to his hands. He's going to have better grip on those soft tyres. He's going to have a much faster car in the last part of this race. So I would say definitely don't rule out ozone clean. He's definitely going to have more grip on those soft tyres compared to RaKiMaJe and Game for Life in the mediums. So Aslan looks like he has caught up to the back of this pack. 5 cars to take the checkered flag here, if they all make it to the checkered flag, that is. But safety cars in this lap, and we are coming through the final few corners of lap deep, but Ozanklin is giving him a hell of a fight. But you've got to feel for Game for Life there. He's dropped out of this battle, and that could be his hopes of the race win. Done and dashed right there. RaKiMaJe, though, on the medium tyres, has got to fend off a hard-charging Ozanklin on the softs. Maybe Ozanklин's tyres might start to wear off in the last lap or two, but right now he's going to have a significant pace advantage, and RaKiMaJe is going to have to park that Red Bull in all the right places and drive this with a very, very wily old head on his shoulders at the moment. He's currently got some heavy pressure here as Ozanklin looks to the inside. He's going to make the move into turn 1. He's got overshot the corner, and I think he's gone deep, and RaKiMaJe should get that position back around the outside of turn 2. Oh no, look at Ozanklin gets spun round there. He looked like RaKiMaJe closed the door on him. RaKiMaJe had every right to take his normal racing line as Ozanklin rejoined the track, and unfortunately he gets spun round as a result, and he's now down to the back of this quintet here. RaKiMaJe has got quite a comfortable margin now. He's got almost 2 seconds back to Haspaz, and that could be the race win in the bag here for RaKiMaJe. But Ozanklin went for it, took his opportunity, thought he had the room on the inside to rejoin the track and try and take that fight to RaKiMaJe, but I think in hindsight that was a little bit of an unsafe rejoining the track there from Ozanklin, and as a result he's lost out, he's lost his front wing, and he will have to come into the pits at the end of this lap. But it's given RaKiMaJe that cushion, it's given him that respite, and he could be coming home to take the win, and maybe just limiting the damage done to his Red Bull team after his son Joram crashed out from the race lead a few laps ago.
And Game for Life has just gone up into 3rd place.
Yeah, absolutely. Game for Life is in that podium spot, and he's only 7.5 seconds behind RaKiMaJe. I don't think he's going to be able to win this race. I think he's a little bit too far behind for that to happen. But 5 seconds behind Haspaz, we'll have to see whether or not Game for Life's got the pace to get himself into P2 here in this one. But here we go anyway. So into the final 5 laps of this race, RaKiMaJe doing what he has to do out the front. He's got this race lead, he's got that buffer, he's definitely in the box seat here in this race, but it's all down to whether or not Haspaz can take that fight to him. What's Game for Life got in his locker in his final couple of laps? Has he got the pace to close in and get ahead of Haspaz? Maybe even go after RaKiMaJe if RaKiMaJe makes a mistake. Nilsson running in 4th place at the moment. He's 4 seconds off the mark of Game for Life. He's coming into the pits to get that front wing changed. It's all unfortunate there for him. Took his chance there on RaKiMaJe, but it just didn't pay off. RaKiMaJe took his long racing line as Ozanklin tried to enjoy the track, having gone wide into turn 1, and it did not come off at all for Ozanklin. And RaKiMaJe looks set to take the opening round of this season, barring any major catastrophes in these last couple of laps. He's putting out that gap to Haspaz at the moment. He's got 3 seconds back to him. Game for Life is continuing to reel Haspaz in. And quite a racing lots here. Just over 3 seconds separating these two. But Game for Life could really be in the shout here for 2nd place. And he's closing in on RaKiMaJe as well, which I don't think is going to be enough. I don't think he's bringing that gap down by enough to bring himself into contention for the win. But never say never though. That's it. Until the fat lady's son, you cannot be sure. So Game for Life currently 5.5 seconds behind RaKiMaJe, and Haspaz has actually responded a little bit, probably to the pressure of Game for Life behind him, but he's also not falling too far from RaKiMaJe on that lap. He's sort of just keeping the gap to him. RaKiMaJe though doing everything he has to do right now. There are a few time penalties, which we're not 100% the nature of them, but they'll potentially come into effect and change the order once we get to the checkered flag. Hopefully not too much, but there'll definitely be some chopping and changing once we get to the end of this race. Lost out there, he's down to 3rd place, and it looks like he's not got too much damage on that car. He's kept onto his front wing, but that's the way 2nd place. He's still sat in a very solid podium spot though, so he's just going to bring this one home and get it to the flag. He's got 3 and a bit laps left to go here in this one. Nilsson currently 8 seconds off of him, currently running in 4th place right now. Ozanklin in P5 here in this one. RaKiMaJe's got just 3 laps left to go here, and he's going to take the first win of the season, giving his Red Bull team a very good shot at the constructors. absolutely superb race tonight. About 8 laps left to go. Just got a little bit hot-headed, maybe was going a bit too hard, and he ultimately spun the car into the wall and crashed out of the race. RaKiMaJe, though, looking to pick up the pieces and bring a win home for them anyway, as we've got Game for Life reeling him in a little bit. He is closing the gap to RaKiMaJe. I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's too little too late, and he's going to end up falling a bit short here in this one. We'll have to see, but I don't think there's enough laps. I don't think there's enough time left in this race for Game for Life to get this win. We'll have to wait and see, though. This reminds me very much of the opening season last season at Australia, where we had Green Pies leading the race towards the end. Just Jose was hunting him down, had the pace over him, reeled him in, and ultimately Green Pies made a little mistake on the last lap, which invited Just Jose in and allowed him to take the victory. And let's just hope that RaKiMaJe doesn't fall victim to the same little skirmishes that Green Pies did that lost him that race win. And ultimately that first round of the season last season ended up being pretty indicative of the actual season as a whole. Green Pies led the championship all the way up to the midpoint. Just Jose reeled him in, strung together a really good load of performances, and ultimately led the championship coming into the last race and took the title. But this time around, for this opening round of the season, RaKiMaJe's got it in the bag. He's inherited the lead due to his teammate Joram crashing out, and he got a bit fortuitous as well, did RaKiMaJe, with the whole safety cars. He'd done a long stint on the medium tyres, and technically I don't think that Game for Life needed to come into the pits for that final stop. He did, because he had that opportunity to get a free pit stop, but Game for Life didn't really need to make that final pit stop, so he would have taken the lead when RaKiMaJe came into the pits. But as a result of the safety car, they both came in for fresh mediums, and that gave RaKiMaJe track position. Game for Life then had that spin, which dropped him off of the pack, and he's had to really get the hammer down over these last couple of laps to try and reel the gap down, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. He's got the pace over RaKiMaJe now, but I don't think he's going to get there. He's going to run out of laps, he's going to run out of time. The checkered flag is going to... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Motive Racing channel. We're here for the second round of the Formula One season, and looks like we've lost a driver here from this qualifying session. Djphil-green's crashed out in the early stages of this qualifying session, so that's not what he would have wanted. But yeah, we're here for round 2 of the season. Last time out, we saw Game for Life taking the opening race of the season, and looks like he's picking up where he left off so far, currently leading the way. In the early stages of this qualifying session, he's a long way clear of Vidic, who's joined it as a very late entry to this race, but it's good to see Vidic making his debut out on the Motive Racing circuit. Just coming into the pits right now. He's a couple of seconds off of Game for Life, last week's race winner. We got RaKiMaJe, currently sat in 3rd place at the moment on a 119.1, little way off of Game for Life, probably just getting that Red Bull through its paces at the moment. RaKiMaJe so close to taking the opening round of the season last week at Bahrain, but he got unlucky a little bit towards the end of the race. He picked up a few penalties which lost him the win and gave it to Game for Life. As we see RaKiMaJe, oh, he goes into the wall there. Is he out of the session? I think he is. Oh my goodness, that's 2 drivers have crashed out of qualifying in the early stages here. Wow. So he's not going to improve his time anymore. I wonder if that's going to be a yellow flag between sector 1 and 2 where the crossover is. But wow, RaKiMaJe is out of the session here. So wow, that's really blown his session a little bit. He'll be starting at best in P4, but that's before the other drivers have done their lap times. So we've got Joram, son of RaKiMaJe, his teammate, currently is just on a lap good enough for P2, so he moves provisionally onto the front row alongside Game for Life. And then Vidic in the pits. Mr. Basil, also a very late entry tonight, joining the season for this season, currently sat in 5th place at the moment in this session, sat in the pits. We've got Ozan Klin, last week challenged for the win after the final safety car restart. He's also in the pits. We've got Djphil coming in towards the final few corners now in the McLaren. Let's see what he's able to do here. His teammate currently on provisional pole. Can Djphil get a little bit closer to the top of the order? Let's have a look and see. It doesn't look like he is actually coming into the pits, so that's obviously not going to get any better for him for now. Last season's race winner Green Pies currently sat in 8th place, still yet to really set a lap in anger, it appears. Green Pies obviously took a dominant win last season. He ended up taking pole position, fastest lap and the race win. So we know he's got bags of talent around this track. And is he going to deliver once again and make it a second win in as many seasons around Catalunya? Currently watching Game for Life. He cuts the inside of the final chicane and he brings it into the pits as a result. So I wonder if he just overstepped his braking rocket ever so slightly. Penguin Dude in the Aston Martin currently sat in 3rd place. He's done a decent lap there as Penguin Dude, one of us, our head steward here at Motive Racing, also one of our league coordinators as well. Good to see him doing a good job here in the early stages of this session. Mr. Basil still sat in the pits, as is Vidic, as is a lot of drivers at the moment, all sat in the pit lane. So not really much going on in terms of TV time. You'd think they'd want to get their sponsors out on the TV and show what they're about, but at the moment lots of drivers just making adjustments to their setups, trying to eke out every little 1/10 of a second that they can in order to maximize the performance of their cars. Probably having a look at Game for Life's lap time as well and thinking, my goodness, what on earth can we do to try and get close to that? But here comes Penguin Dude in towards the final couple of corners now, and he's coming into the pits now as well. So it looks like every single driver at the moment is in the pits. Wow, so everyone is in the pits, not a single driver is out on the track doing a lap time. So this not the most exciting show we got going on for you guys right now. Sorry about this at home. We've got Ozan Klin has just come out of the pits. He's currently on his out lap at the moment, and Joram also coming out, also the McLaren there of I think Djphil coming out maybe as well, perhaps towards the end of the pit lane. I think that was Djphil. Green Pies is out on the track as well, driving in the... Is he in the... He's in a Haas. I'm sure he's supposed to be driving the AlphaTauri, but... Okay, well anyway, Green Pies, last season's runner-up in the Formula One League, is currently on his outlap at the moment. Be interesting to see how he gets on, obviously without his last season's championship rival and eventual champion, just Jose, being here. This is Green Pies' really big opportunity to stake his claim for a title. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, it's a long season, 21 races over the course of Motor Racing's Formula One World Championship, but we'll have to see whether he's got the talent, whether he's got the consistency. We know from last season that he's not going to crack under the pressure He did have a big lead in the mid part of the season, though, did Green Pies. I think at one point last season, he had about a 68-point lead over just Jose, but then he had the most torrid run of form in the second half of the season. I remember he had a retirement at Spa. He had all sorts of problems just throughout the second part of the season, which ultimately caused his title challenge to fall short. He was driving in the McLaren last season. He's in a Haas tonight. I don't think that's actually the team he's supposed to be driving for, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Game for Life in the Discord server saying, what a lap. He seems pretty happy with that one. I don't think he was expecting that by the looks of it. He seems like he's caught himself by surprise there. So we're currently watching Green Pies coming through the first sector. Obviously, let's try and get some split times up if we can, actually. Let's try and get some idea of how he's doing in comparison to Game for Life, because it's not going to be easy at all to match the pace of Game for Life. He's been flying over the course of this session, coming up towards the middle sector checkpoint pretty shortly as Green Pies down the back straight he comes. Looks like he gets a good exit there. He's used 50% of his battery so far, so he's saving it up for that final corner. He wants to get a good launch out of that chicane. But here he comes anyway. Green Pies even coming in towards the final chicane section. Here he comes. Looks like he's going to get a good exit here. A bit of a twitch there as he comes out of the final corner, out onto the start-finish straight now. And let's see what Green Pies is going to do. As he comes up towards the line, he goes P2 with that one, 2/10 shy of Game for Life. But crucially for Green Pies, it's on the medium tyres, and Game for Life has just gone P1. Well, no, he was already P1, but he goes even faster there. He improves his time to a 1:15.7. He's now half a second clear of Green Pies. So Game for Life is absolutely on it right now, but he bins it through turns 1 and 2 just to ruin that one. Yeah, this is absolute scorching pace there from Game for Life. And Green Pies is currently out there trying to shave a few tenths off of that fastest time that he's done. But one thing that's very important to note at this early stage here in this session is that Green Pies is on the medium tyres, and those obviously they're the less grippy but far more durable tyres compared to the softs. So Green Pies will be able to go longer into the first stint in the race, which may end up being of benefit in terms of the strategic battle here. But Game for Life currently sat on pole position. Green Pies in P2, but Green Pies has got definitely the ace up his sleeve in terms of the strategy and what he can do going into the first stint of the race. But Joram currently sat in third place, the man who led the majority of the Bahrain Grand Prix last week, but unfortunately for him, had a crash 10 laps from the end, which took him out of the race. His father and teammate RaKiMaJe very, very nearly saved his blushes, but then got nabbed just at the end due to his penalty. Game for Life took the win last time out ahead of RaKiMaJe. And we see Joram coming over the line, and he goes up into P2, pushes Green Pies down a position there. Lovely lap from Joram. Goes 700ths of a second quicker, still 4.5 tenths behind Game for Life, who has brought it into the pits. So Game for Life obviously feels like he's not improving on this current lap that he's on. Green Pies also coming into the pits. Now, I wonder what Green Pies is going to do at this point. Does he come in and put the soft tyres on and go for a 1 lap or 2 lap dash and try and get pole, or does he stick to his guns and try and go for this strategy that he's on right now, which will take him long into the first stint of the race? That is the big question here as to what Green Pies does. But right now he's sat in third place, so he's trailing Game for Life and Joram. But it really does look like these top three are in a bit of a league of their own right now. Game for Life, Joram and Green Pies. And Penguin Dude out there at the moment, sat in P4. He's just coming through to the first sector checkpoint. And then Vidic is on his outlap at the moment. We've got Onza and Klin coming into the pits, so he's clearly not happy with something and making some adjustments. RaKiMaJe obviously crashed out early on in the session. We've got Mr. Basil here, just coming down the back straight, driving in the Ferrari this week. I'm not sure what his permanent placement is going to be. He was a very late entry to tonight, so we haven't actually sorted his place out on the drivers list just at the moment, but we'll have to see. But right now he's driving in the Ferrari. We've got DJ Phil in P9 at the moment in the McLaren. He's coming through the middle sector right about now, and obviously Jaffa Cake out of the session very early on due to crashing. Joram looks like he's going very slowly here on this lap. He is in an in-lap by the looks of it, so he's going to be coming in, putting some fresh boots on, one would imagine. Oh no, he is. Oh, it's an outlap, sorry. Oh, no, it is an in-lap. It is an in-lap, I thought it was. So Joram is into the pits to get those to put some new shoes on and try and go for a pole lap right at the end. He will probably only get 1 lap in unless he's very, very quick about this tyre change. But top 3 all in the pits. Penguin Dude out there at the moment, just coming through the final chicane section, out through the last corner. He comes right now. Let's see what Penguin Dude can put on the board here. Is he going to be able to challenge the top 3 or get them looking over their shoulders in any way? Not with that lap so far, but he'll get a couple more laps out of these soft tyres before they start to go off. And then Village out the last corner. What's he going to be able to do? Over the line he comes. Can't do anything about it at the moment. Ose Anklin still in the pits. Mr. Basil's just coming through the middle sector. Let's watch Mr. Basil as he comes through the final part of this lap. This is incredibly embarrassing, but I still don't know how to change the view. Yeah, I still don't know how to change the view. If anybody could help to tell me. Oh no, Mr. Basil's whizzing into the wall there. He's completely lost it coming to the final sector. A bit of nerves, maybe seeing that the stream was watching him, but yeah, he's crashed there. Unfortunately, lost his front wing. He will probably be hard pushed to get in the pits and get that fixed in time to do another lap. So it might be close there for him. DJ Phil is coming through the final part of this lap now. He's currently sat in 9th place. Can he move himself up a couple of positions? Obviously, RaKiMaJe in no position to do anything if somebody pushes ahead of him because he's out of this session. Mr. Basil brought it into the pits and probably isn't going to get around in time. But DJ Phil's lost it a little bit coming out of the last corner. And that would have cost him at least a couple of seconds there. He crosses over the line. Let's see if it's good enough to improve his time. It isn't. That really did cost him there. That little twitch coming out of the last corner put paid to DJ Phil's chances of improving his lap time for sure. As it looks like Green Pies. What's Green Pies doing? He's switched to the softs, but he's not getting out there. So I don't know what he's trying to do here, but he's put the soft tyres on and has not gone out onto the track. So an interesting decision there, but he should start on the mediums because he did that fastest lap on the medium tyres, so he will be able to start this race on the mediums. Game for Life has put us mediums on, and presumably he's trying to do a faster time. Oh no, he's binned it. Oh, he's lost it, and that's his front wing gone. He's not going to be going anywhere faster without a front wing, so it looks like Game for Life there has lost his chance of trying to improve his fastest lap on the mediums. I think what he was trying to do there was be able to start on the medium tyres and then go long into the first stint, but that has not paid off at all. And Game for Life will have to start this race on the soft that he did his fastest lap on, so he won't be able to go long into the first stint like Green Pies will. Joram will be lining up alongside Game for Life on the front row as it stands. Penguin Dude has improved his lap time massively on that last lap that he did. He's up to P4, completely missed that. He's coming into the pits now at the end of his run, but lovely lap there from Penguin Dude. Got Nem Vidic in the pits at the moment. Doesn't look like he's going to be improving with 15 seconds on the clock. Ose Anklin, the last man out on track here. What is he going to be able to do? Can he get himself into the top 5 maybe? He's only 3/10 off of Nem Vidic's fastest time. Towards the end of the back straight, he comes onto the brakes. Looks like he's got it pretty nicely hooked up through there. He's only got a few corners left to go here. He will be the last man to cross the line with the clock having run out already now. In towards the chicane section, he comes down to 4th gear. Very ballsy there as he commits the car through the corner and out of the final little kink through the last corner. This right-hander flat out here. Tags the curb a little bit, not too much. You don't want it to be spinning round. And up towards the line he comes. And Ose Anklin does push Nem Vidic down a position. He's up into P5 there. So nicely done from Ose Anklin, finding half a second there on that final lap. Very, very impressive under the way he coped under pressure there. But that looks like it's going to be that then for the qualifying session here for Motive Racing's F1 League, the second round of the season. Be sure to hit a like if you enjoy what you're seeing right now, guys, and if you want to get involved in the on-track action, if you want to be one of these guys out on the track, then be sure to go to motiveracing.com. You named us down for the Formula 1 League. Very early days in this championship. Still time to get yourselves on the drivers list and potentially stake your claim to fight for the title if you're very, very good. 21 race season and obviously only 2 races in, so plenty of time for you to get yourselves involved. And even if you're not challenging for the title, just come along and have a race. We've got I think we've got 14 people on the actual championship on the lineup, but only 10 able to turn up tonight. So we still got spaces, guys. Still 5-6 spaces left on the grid. If you want to get involved, definitely come along. Ose Anklin is still out there, but he's definitely not a flying lap. This is an in lap, I know that. But he's still going, so something's stopping the session from proceeding, unfortunately. I think it might be Green Pies because he's out on the track right now. did he get over the line in time? He did. Oh my goodness. Green Pies did get over the line in time. He did that fastest lap there right at the end of the session, and he goes up into P2, only 2,000ths off of Game for Life. Wow, he did actually get started final lap there. Green Pies up into P2. He won't be able to start on the mediums like he would have probably wanted to go long into the first stint, but it's looking very close at the top of this order. So Game for Life will be a man on pole position ahead of Green Pies. Joram will be lining up on the second row in third place with Penguin Dude alongside him. Ozan Klin in fifth, and then Visage sixth. Then we got RaKiMaJe and Mr. Basil on the fourth row with DJ Phil and Djphil-green rounding out the field for round 2 of the season here for the Spanish Grand Prix at Motive Racing. Here we go then, guys. We're just about to go racing here for round 2 of the Formula 1 season here at Motive Racing. Season 2, we got Game for Life lining up on pole. Ended up 2,000ths of a second ahead of Green Pies in the qualifying classification. Green Pies putting in a great lap there. Almost dethroning Game for Life, but couldn't quite do it. It's going to be a great battle between these two. Green Pies, we know, excels around this track. We saw last season for, I think it was round 6 last season here at Spain. We saw Green Pies took the pole, the win, and the fastest lap. He's not going to repeat that feat tonight, starting on P2. But he can certainly get a fastest lap and a win if he really gets his skates on. He'll be lining up alongside Game for Life. Joram on the second row with Penguin Dude alongside him. Ozan Klin and then Visage on the third row. RaKiMaJe, Mr. Basil, DJ Phil and Djphil-green on the fifth row. And Atanas joining us here for the start of round 2 of the season. Here we go then. We're lining up on the grid. We're almost about to go lights out here at Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix here on F1 2021 at Motive Racing. Here we go, engine revs rise, we're about to go racing here, and it is lights out and away we go in just a moment. There we go, and we are underway here, and Game for Life does get a decent start, but Green Pies gets a slightly better one, and it looks like he's going to have the inside here coming into turn 1. He's got a queue of cars here up the inside. Joram's up into second place, and Game for Life getting pushed out a little bit there. Gets a bit of a nudge, and Penguin Dude's trying to get through as well. And oh no, we see there's Ozan Klin spun off there, and we see Green Pies leading them ahead of Joram. Penguin Dude, Game for Life got pushed out, and just dropped back behind Penguin Dude there, but Green Pies leads the field ahead of Joe and Penguin Dude and Game for Life. Nemvidic in 5th place, RaKiMaJe, Djphil-green, Djphil, Atanas, Ozan and Mr. Basil at the back of the field. Ozan really got a bit unfortunate there at the start, as we see Green Pies just ahead of Joram, and Penguin Dude is very, very close behind him, but unfortunately go for Game for Life. He'll be really frustrated with that start when he's getting pushed out. He's getting passed left, right and centre here by all sorts of cars here, and RaKiMaJe spun it. RaKiMaJe spins off onto the grass there as he was trying to get a move done on Game for Life. Djphil-green having a look here on Game for Life, but can't get it done, and Penguin Dude's out of the race. Penguin Dude's crashed out on the first lap. Oh God, I can see in the background there. There is the stricken Aston Martin of Penguin Dude. All sorts of carnage there on the first lap. Green Pies taking the lead of the race after having got the better start and out-dragging Game for Life up to turn 1. Gelram managing to squeeze through as well. Nemvidic is promoted up into the podium spots in the opening lap of his debut here, and we've got Djphil-green in 4th, Game for Life down to P5. A horrible first lap there for him. Djphil 6th, Atanas 7th, good start from him. Ozan 8th, RaKiMaJe 9th, and Mr. Basil in P10. With a dramatic start there, we've got a VSC as the marshals just gather everything together. Penguin Dude's left the session. That's so unfortunate there for Penguin Dude. That's not the way that he would have wanted the race to go. I can absolutely assure you of that. But that is really, really a shame there for him. But we've got Gelram still leading us round as we are under a VSC, and it looks like Green Pies, Ozan, Game for Life and Mr. Basil have all decided to take advantage of this virtual safety car. Now they're getting the cars in whilst the rest of the pack are slightly inhibited, and but the VSC's ended already, and Gelram is now free to put his foot down and show what he can do out the front. This is now going to be Gelram's big opportunity to try and build the gap to the rest of the drivers out on the track. But we'll have to see how exactly that's going to pan out for him over the course of this race. Already pulled out 2.8 seconds over Nemvidic. Djphil-green's keeping Nemvidic in sight. In fact, he's pulled a bit of a gap down here. Now it's under a second between those two. And Djphil and Atanas separated by 6/10. Atanas is really hunting Djphil down right now. Green Pies, the highest runner of the drivers who have been into the pits. He's running just about ahead of RaKiMaJe, and he's putting the gap already. And one thing for Green Pies is he can go very long into this stint because he's on the hard tyres. So we're expecting him to probably go until about, I would say, lap 20 something, I would imagine. The big question for Green Pies at this point, though, is does he go really long, say to lap 25, and then put the softs on, or does he just play it safe, go to maybe say lap 20, 21, and put a set of the mediums on for the final stint? That's the big question that's on my mouth right now, but we'll have to wait and see. Gelram does the fastest lap of the race on lap 2, as you would imagine, with it being the first proper lap at racing speeds. You've got Djphil-green dropping off the back of him quite considerably right now. Djphil has got Atanas all over his rearview mirrors here. We're going to ride on board with Atanas and see what he's seeing as they're coming up towards turn 4. But Djphil for the time being holding on for dear life, and they got Green Pies very close behind them now. Green Pies is reeling these two in, and he's going to be wanting to clear them as soon as he probably can and stay in contention for the race win, with Gelram being up ahead of him. But Djphil a little bit deep there, coming into that little left right, and what's happened there? Djphil-green's had a moment there, and he's dropped way back. He's probably going to be passed by RaKiMaJe in a moment there. Didn't see what happened. And Atanas is out of the race. He's crashed it. Atanas has retired from the race. Another virtual safety car here, as we've still got Green Pies putting the pressure on Djphil, but he's not going to be able to get past him there due to Atanas crashing out. We've had 2 cars crash out in the opening 3 laps here at Catalunya tonight. It's been an absolute mess for a few drivers, but Green Pies running on the hard tyres, only 7/10 behind Djphil at this point, and looking pretty good here so far. Looking like it could be on for a race win if he continues to do what he's doing. It depends on how quickly he can clear Djphil, and it looks like Djphil is playing it very safe on that delta. Green Pies is all over him here as they're coming down the start-finish straight. Obviously, Green Pies cannot pass him under yellow flag, and Ozan-green's been done speeding under the VSC. So he's obviously jumped the gun a little bit there. Green Pies has got the move there on Djphil into turn 1, so he's up into 3rd place. You could see that Green Pies was trying to set that one up there, as he knew that the VSC was about to come to a close, and he knew that if possible, if he could get as close to Djphil as possible without breaking his delta, then he'd be able to get that move done. And he's up into 3rd place there on those hard tyres, and is only 15 seconds behind the race of the Gelram, despite having already been into the pits. So this is now looking very good for Green Pies at this point, as Gelram continues to lead the race in this early stages. We've got the rest of the pack pretty strong out at the moment. Djphil already 2 seconds behind Green Pies. Green Pies one of the fastest drivers on F1 here on PlayStation. And did Djphil put it in the wall there? He did. He's lost it there coming through turn 6 and 7. Has he lost his front wing? Hopefully not. Hopefully not, but that is definitely not what Djphil would have wanted there. Hopefully we get a view of the trackside in a moment. Yeah, he has lost his front wing, so Djphil there had a bit of a hefty whack. You saw him go charging into the wall. We kind of were leaving him just as he did that, but he will have to come into the pits at the end of this lap. He'll have Game for Life reeling him in. His teammate will be on the back of him pretty shortly, but Djphil should be pulling off into the pits. There he goes, and Game for Life is released into some clean air. Just keep an eye on the gap between Green Pies and Game for Life, because that's going to be the net battle for the lead. It's 15 seconds right now, so Game for Life is a long way behind Green Pies. And what Game for Life really needs at this point in the race is a safety car. He needs a safety car just to bunch the pack up, because he's only one place behind Green Pies, despite the margin between them. So at this point, he'll be hoping there is another safety car, and I wouldn't bet against it with the way that this race has been going so far. It's been carnage, it's been action, it's been chaos left, right and centre. And right now, like he's going up and already pulling up onto the back of Nemvidic in this battle for second place. He's 14 seconds behind Joram, who's out leading the race at the moment. Joram, we saw last week, could have, would have, and should have won the Bahrain Grand Prix, but didn't. He crashed out 10 laps from the end, which cost him the victory. But right now, end of lap 5 here, he's doing the business out the front. 15 seconds he's got over Nemvidic. We think that Nemvidic can hold Green Pies up for as long as possible. But Green Pie's looking very hot on his tail at the moment as they're coming out of the final corner out to the start-finish straight. Green Pies will have DRS here. Let's see if he's able to get the move done. Surely it's going to be a routine move here. It is. He's going to breeze past him there as Nemvidic stays to the left-hand side, and Green Pies is up into second place on those hard tyre, on the harder compound of tyres. So that good stuff there from Green Pies. That's what he would have needed. That's what he would have wanted there. And now he can focus his efforts on staying within range of Joram and making sure that he's close enough when Joram comes into the pits to jump him in those pit stops. Obviously, with Green Pies being in a very good position with strategy right now, he's on those hard tyres and he seems to be closing the gap to the race leader at the moment. Whether or not Joram's going to see that and start responding to the pressure, maybe he'll see that Green Pies step into P2 and it will just give him that little incentive. We'll have to see. But Mr. Basil's lost it and he's out of the race. And here we go. We have got a safety car. This is not what Green Pies would have wanted, because now it's going to bunch the pack up and it's going to bring Game for Life to within 2 positions of him and pretty much row on his tail. So this is definitely what Game for Life would have been hoping and praying for. But Mr. Basil, so unfortunate for him on his debut out of the race. His friend Nemvidic, both of those guys jumping in tonight, is he's currently sat in that podium spot, and he will be not too far off the leader. Obviously with the safety car, the whole pack's going to be extremely bunched up. But Green Pies is coming into the pits to get those tyres changed. I wonder if Green Pies is going to put another set of hard tyres on and try and go to the end from here. It wouldn't surprise me. He's one of those guys who always just tries to do something that you wouldn't expect or that just defies physics. But Nemvidic there in and out of the box. Green Pies looks like he's putting the medium tyres on. So I assume he's now going to try and do a stint, take him towards the end of the race. If he can go maybe, I don't know, 15, 16 laps on these tyres, who knows, a bit longer maybe with the safety car, he might be able to put a set of the softs on at the end. We'll have to see. But Green Pies there putting the mediums on. Joram's done the same. Game for Life staying out. He hasn't been in, so he obviously wants to get track position there. He's only 4 laps older, those medium tyres, and I think he's probably on a similar strategy. The only thing that's different between himself and Joram and Green Pies is that those two, the top two, Joram and Green Pies, might be able to put the soft on for their final stint, whereas I don't think Game for Life is going to have that luxury. But again, this is all just speculation. We're going to have to see. He almost loses it there, coming through the turn 6 and 7 sort of like chicane bit there, but he keeps onto it. Nemvidic there running the P4, closing up onto the back of this pack as we are under safety car here. But whilst we're here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a big thank you to everybody watching the stream, to all those who have liked it, and also a huge thank you to our patrons here as well. So those of you who sign up to the Patreon service and give us the support, help us to run our ACC servers and just as a general donation out of the kindness of your hearts, and obviously we intend to use the proceeds to fund possible cash events in the future as well. You guys, your contribution is enormously appreciated. Let me just get the patrons up on the screen there as well. So a big thank you to Will, Freeman, Evans, Snooky the Lazy Camel, RaKiMaJe, deedeeTKU, Slaed, DJ Phil, Kenny, Superfast Joe, Nick the Villa, Freeman, Emma, Fid Rompu, Nilsson and Chris Pisuk. I think a couple of those names on the patron list anymore, and in fact that does need updating because there have been a couple of new patrons since then. I believe Marty Road Racing is signed up to the Patreon service, and there's a couple of others as well, so we will obviously update that as soon as we possibly can. We'll have that ready up for the next event, that's for sure. But a huge thank you to you guys. What you do helps us to mainly fund our ACC servers, because we have quite a few leagues over. Having one server for everything just isn't really enough, so you guys putting in that contribution helps us to turn that over. And obviously our website as well, without the Patreon money we wouldn't be able to host our domain motiveracing.com, so it's all pivotal to the general function of Motive Racing as a whole, that you guys do make that contribution, so it is enormously appreciated. As we say, we've got Joe, I'm in the comments saying, aren't there mechanical failures on because I'm stuck at overtake? So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, lap 9 of 33. The pack now just bunching up here under the safety car. Joram has led this one for most of it, really. It was Green Pies who took the lead off at the start line. Game for Life started on pole, and they had an absolute horror show of an opening couple of laps, dropped down the field. He's now going to be playing catch up in this race. He's put the softs on as Game for Life, so he's clearly looking to try and make his way through this pack as soon as he can, and then get onto the back of Joram and Green Pies and try and outpace them if he can. We know that Game for Life on the soft tyres is definitely going to have a pace advantage over Joram and Green Pies, but he needs to get through the pack first, and Joram and Green Pies on those mediums can go long into this stint and will probably be able to put the soft on at the end of the race as well. So it's definitely going to be beneficial for those guys. But having said that, we don't know whether or not we're going to have more safety cars here in this race. We could be in for a couple more, and that will definitely spice things up as this race goes on, as everybody's just getting their tyres nice and warm. We should, I think, be set to go racing this lap, because the whole pack is managed to catch up to the training. Yep, notice there from race control, safety car is in this lap, so the safety car will peel off. When we get to the safety car line, it will be up to Joram as to when he wants to put his foot to the floor, and there'll be no overtaking before the start-finish line. So here we go, Joram leading this pack here out of the final corner. Green Pies will be looking to try and get a good bite, and the pressure coming into turn 1, but is he going to be caught out by Joram when he goes green? Here we go, up to finish line, and Joram's gone. We are racing once again here, and Green Pies looks like he gets a great reaction there, and he's already in the slipstream here, coming out towards 1. Then Vidic also got a great bite as well. Up towards turn 1 they come. Then Vidic tucking into the inside, as we can see Green Pies trying to go around the outside of Joram, but Joram holds him off there very nicely. Good defensive driving there from Joram. Then Vidic unable to get around him there, as Green Pies looks around the outside, can't get it done there. Coming through turn 3, is he going to try and get that run where Hamilton got the run on Rosberg a few seasons ago? He has a little look to the inside of turn 4, can't get it done, goes a little bit wide there, and Joram holds on for the time time being. Netvedic in third place there. RaKiMaJe is in P4. Game 5's already made up 2 positions there on this restart. He's up into there and now trying to put Djphil-green under a little bit of pressure here as Game for Life is on the soft tyres and trying to make progress here. Oh, as we see Djphil-green. No, not Djphil-green, sorry, Green Pies. Green Pies goes by there and he's dropped down to P6 there. So he's lost out massively. He's obviously trying to put Jerome under a bit of pressure, but it hasn't really worked out for him. And he's got Ozan Klim pretty close behind him as well. So Green Pies having a bit of a moment there. That's really cost him there. And he's now got to regroup and go again. But Jerome leads ahead of Netvedic and RaKiMaJe. Game for Life is all over the back of RaKiMaJe here, trying to get himself into third place. So it's been a good restart from Game for Life. Obviously started this restart in P7. He's up to fourth place. Obviously got a little bit aided by Green Pies there, dropping back, went a little bit wide onto the grass, making that mistake. But Game for Life on those soft needs to make this kind of progress because he's the only driver on the soft tyres. He can't go very long into this stint. He will have to pit again probably before we get to lap 20. So he's on borrowed time on those tyres and he needs to make an impression now before he switches to the medium for his final stint. Up towards turn 1 they come. He's going to have that inside line there and he's going to get the move done there pretty easily on RaKiMaJe. RaKiMaJe didn't fight that one too hard, but the younger of the Red Bull teammates, Joram, currently out front leading this race and he's already pulled out 3 seconds over Netvedic. So Joram absolutely flying. Netvedic got Game for Life within about a second of him at the moment and he's trying to get himself in striking distance to get up into that P2. He will have DRS this lap, but he just wants to be making quick progress at the moment, does Game for Life. He's doing a good job of it so far. Green Pies has got himself back ahead of Djphil-green up into 5th place and he's now pulling up onto the back of RaKiMaJe. But it's not going to be in the restart that Green Pies would have wanted. He's up the inside having a look, but looks like RaKiMaJe closes the door for the time being, and there's no way around there for Green Pies. In the foreground, Game for Life having a look to the inside of Netvedic, can't get it done there at the end of the back straight. Still RaKiMaJe holding Green Pies off by the skin of his teeth at the moment. As Djphil-green's got Ozan Klim putting under a bit of pressure there for P6. Joram though, putting out 4 seconds. He's got to these two as we can see once again Game for Life having a little look to the inside of Netvedic, but Netvedic covering him off and not giving him any space to work with. And Netvedic got a horrible run there coming out the corner, but Game for Life nowhere to go. Had to slam on the brakes and couldn't capitalise on it. He will have DRS down the start-finish straight though. Here he goes. Looks like Game for Life is looking to the inside. Is he going to be able to get this done? I think he is, you know. Oh, he's not. He's not got that straight line speed that he would want, but Netvedic trying to hold it around the outside and for the time being clings onto that P2, but he's got a little bit deep there. He had a bit of snap oversteer. Game for Life drives around the outside of him. Netvedic is still there though. Still side by side, and he gives him a bit of a tap there, and Netvedic is, is he out of the race? I think he is. He's out of the race. He's retired from the session. That's got to be a safety car. It is a safety car. We're down to 7 runners here in this race. It looked like Netvedic just went a little bit off of his line. He twitched a little bit to the left-hand side and ultimately made the contact. Game for Life gets away with that one without any damage, I think. But Netvedic out of the race. Another safety car here, and that was really unfortunate between those two. I think maybe they just moved across on each other. A bit of a racing incident there between those two. We'll have to see if there's any incident referrals in the stewards column after this race, but I don't think that there was much that either of them could have done there. They looked like they just moved across on a little bit on each other, and when the contact ensued, Netvedic just couldn't control the oversteer and went into the barriers, lost the front wing, and the car was totaled as a result. But now, lap 12 of 33, now we're into the sort of territory where drivers could potentially put the hard tyres on and go to the end of the race on them. So this is going to be exciting to see if anybody does roll that particular dice. Looks like they're all staying out for now, so they've had enough coming into the pits. Ozan Klim's coming in, so he obviously is coming towards the end of his stint on the medium tyres. He knows that he's probably best advised to come in and get that sorted out. RaKiMaJe staying out, interestingly, and Ozan Klim puts a set of softs on. So maybe banking on another safety car. He definitely can't go to the end on those. But I don't know. Maybe he's going to do 2 soft stints to the end, possibly a medium stint as his final stint. Who knows? But Joram currently leading this pack as we're under safety car once again. And for the second week running, I think I'll be missing my GTE race over at Simplay because it's due to start at 8 o'clock, and I think we are going to overrun once again. But hey ho, that's the nature of the business. So lap 13 of 33 here for the second round of the season in Motive Racing's Formula One Championship. Djphil-green leading us around on those medium tyres. He's had those on for a few laps now, but he'll be able to hold on to them for a little bit, obviously under safety car conditions. Game for Life on the soft. We'll be looking to try and make some moves on Djphil-green and put out a bit of a gap here so that he can have that impetus going into the final stint. He's going to have to put the mediums on, I would imagine, for the final part of the race. Green Pie sat in third place. He's got mediums on as well. A similar position to Djphil-green in this race. It's looking very much like these three are going to be. It's going to be one of these three for the win. RaKiMaJe sat in fourth place right now. He will definitely be looking to try and put the pressure on, but I don't know whether he's quite got the pace. Djphil-green Game for Life from Green. Djphil-green there in the AlphaTauri with DJ behind him. Ozan rounding out the 7-car field to finish this race tonight. 11 cars started, 4 have fallen by the wayside, and this is what we've got as a result. I want to say to the drivers, if any of you guys are listening on the stream, if you want to come in and jump in for an interview after the race, obviously it'll have to be quite a brief one because I've got a league race after this, but if anyone wants to have a chat, then bottom of the Discord server, you can scroll down to the bit that says waiting for interview, and I can drag you in and we can have a quick chat after the race if anyone wants to speak to us after the race. But here we go. I think we're about to go racing once again for third safety car restart here, the fourth start overall that we've had throughout the course of this race, and Djphil-green has gone. We are racing now, and Green Pie's got an absolutely brilliant fight there, but did he perhaps jump the gun a little bit on Game for Life? I'm not sure if he passed him before the line. I presume he didn't, because he would have got a penalty if he had. So that was absolutely brilliant timing there from Green Pies to get himself into P2. Game for Life down to third. RaKiMaJe still running in fourth place. Oh, and McLaren's in the wall. What was that? Game for Life has binned it, and has he? Oh, has he got damage on the front of that car? I'm not sure. He's down to 6th and 7th place. Teammate DJ Phil has got ahead of him, but Game for Life has had a horror show of a restart there. Djphil-green and Green Pie is currently dueling it out at the front as Green Pie goes really wide there onto the gravel coming through turn 6, but holds on to it at the moment. But Djphil-green is hanging on by a thread here. But these two are pretty much in the clear at the moment with the man who was on the soft tyres, and we're expecting him to have a bit more pace than them. But Game for Life, but he's had a moment there, lost his front wing, and he's going to have to come in and get that repaired. And Game for Life is going to now be praying for another safety car in this race. Don't know whether or not he's going to get his wish, but that is not the start to the restart that he would have wanted there. Djphil-green and Green Pies still running it out front, 0.3 of a second separating these two. Green Pies all over the back of Djphil-green as he's looking for any possible way that he can try and get himself up into the lead of this race. Green Pies obviously did win this race last season, but that was on F1 2020. He seemed to have the pace on the F1 2021 game as well, though. Down the start finish straight they come. Green Pies will have DRS, but I think he's a little bit too far back to go for the move here. Coming into turn 1 on Djphil-green, he thinks better of going for a lunge up the inside and lives to fight the day in that one as Djphil-green holds on to the lead for the time being. RaKiMaJe's already dropping off at his front two. He's now 3 seconds behind them after a lap of this restart. Ozan might be closing up onto the back of RaKiMaJe a little bit now. Currently 1.2 separating them, but Ozan got ahead of Djphil-green and DJ Phil. So Ozan done very well since this restart. But Djphil-green's still 0.3 of a second ahead of Green Pies at the moment, and these two are putting on a great show out the front. Game for Life is in the pits to get that repaired after that shunt that we saw coming through turns 1 and 2 on the restart. But this is shaping up to be an absolutely fascinating battle between Djphil-green and Green Pies. And Game for Life, if it wasn't for his inconsistency in races, he would be a dead cert for wins, honestly. I mean, last week he took the win at Bahrain with the most horror show of a race you could ever imagine. And yeah, he got a bit lucky with the safety cars and the restarts and everything, but he really did get his elbows out and he fought tooth and nail to the end. And it's just a shame that these little inconsistencies are now being punished with drivers like Djphil and Green Pies, and they're not going to let you off the hook if you make silly mistakes. And right now, Game for Life is finding that out the hard way, but he's put a set of hard tyres on and should be able to go to the end of the race from that position. If we get another safety car and these guys end up coming in, I don't know what's going to happen. No, he probably still won't be in a position to challenge, but I imagine probably Game for Life at this point has got to be a podium spot. I don't think he's going to be able to finish in front of Djphil or Green Pies, and it's going to be a real challenge for him to get anywhere in this race, to be honest with you. But he's still got a long way to go. I reckon he could get a podium out of this if he really pushes. But Green Pies, 4/10 separating these two. Lap 17 of this race, just over half distance in the Spanish Grand Prix here at Motive Racing on F1 2021. Drop a like on the video, guys, if you're enjoying this. This is a great little scrap between these front two. Green Pies looking for a way around Djphil since the restart, but Djphil has defended his position absolutely brilliantly for the time being. As Green Pies throws a little feint to the inside there and throws one up inside there. Djphil hasn't leaving the space. Has he done it? I think for the time being he cuts in behind him, but that was really, really close there from Green Pies. I thought for a second he was going to commit one down the inside, but Djphil did really, really well to leave him the space on the inside to avoid the contact, but also to ensure that he got a good run out of the corner. And for the time being, Djphil still clinging on by a thread here as they're coming out of the last corner to complete their 17th lap of the race. And Djphil, look at that, he's already going defensive out of the last corner. Green Pies will have DRS, but he's not going to be able to use that toe. He will get a nicer run around the outside though, but Djphil once again cutting back to take the normal racing line. DJ Phil's retired, he's out of the race. I think he's out of shunt somewhere, but I didn't see where. We're under VSC. That gives Djphil just a moment, just a minute to regather himself together and get his thoughts in order. But right now, Djphil and Green Pies putting on a fantastic show out the front, uncompromising stuff, unrelenting from Green Pies, the pressure that he's putting on Djphil. The fact that Green Pies is in P2 right now is testament to how on the ball he was at the restart, because we saw Game for Life just caught napping a little bit. Green Pies timed his start so well, he managed to get his foot down and get the run on Game for Life just before the start finish, and then passed him. Literally, I think it must have been a matter of meters after the start finish line. He got past him, because obviously you can't pass start finish line when you're under safety car, but he managed to time it perfectly, and he's looking to the outside here on Djphil. Djphil defends the inside line coming through turn 9. Green Pies really wide there onto the artificial grass. He's going to try it, he's looking to the inside, but Djphil once again closes the door on him. Djphil will be definitely thinking of last week's race at Bahrain, where he got the race taken away from him due to, well, he crashed out with 10 laps to go, having led most of the race. He will not want to repeat that. He'll want to make sure he rights the wrongs of last week and brings this one home. But Green Pies is really putting the pressure on here. Down the start finish straight they come. He's going to have the slipstream. He's going to have DRS once again. We're going to see a repeat of what we've seen over the previous couple of laps. But now Green Pies has got the inside line, and he's going to have it done surely. No, Djphil once again breaking a little bit later and holding on to the lead once again. This is absolutely fantastic racing between these two. Once again, Green Pies looked like he had the upper hand, had the inside line, but that outside, the run you get from being on the racing line through that corner is just, it's so advantageous compared to offline on the inside. Once again, Green Pies has dropped off a little bit there coming through the first sector, but Djphil getting his elbows out and defending this absolutely brilliantly at the moment. We've got 14 laps left to go in this race. These guys need to come in again. They're on relatively worn out medium tyres now, and maybe Green Pies are just starting to fall off the cliff a little bit. He needs to drop back, get out of turbulent air and just get himself together and go again. But Djphil doing absolutely brilliantly out front here. We'll definitely be looking to try and right the wrongs of last week at Bahrain, where he crashed out from the lead. He's doing everything he has to do at the moment to take home this win. Great racing from these two, absolutely fantastic. And that's given Djphil just a little bit of breathing space. He is coming into the pits now, so is he just put another set of mediums on? No, sorry, Green Pies even is coming into the pits. I do apologise. Green Pies is coming into the pits, presumably to put a fresh set of medium tyres on and go to the end of the race. Djphil also doing the same on reasonably worn out mediums, so he's going to have to do a total of 14 laps on these final set of tyres. Djphil's currently out the front doing the business here. He's on his 12th lap on those tyres, and it looks like he's he's in a good position at the moment, but he's going to want to make sure that he keeps the hammer down over these in-laps and make sure that he comes out ahead of Green Pies, because those two were having an absolutely titanic battle before Green Pies pulled the trigger and came into the pits. He's now out of the pits. It's a big twitch there, though, because Green Pies on cold tyres. That was very close to but just about off for now. And I tell you what, that was nip and tuck there for Green Pies. He's still in the game. He's still going. Yeah, it was so close to tears there. That could have been his race. Pretty much done and dusted and out the window there. He did so well. His reactions were absolutely on point in that scenario. Joram still out the front, and is he going to come in and respond to Green Pies' stop, or is he going to try and long it out? No, he is coming in. Going to cut Green Pies off into the pits. He comes. Concerned about the undercut and its effectiveness there for Green Pies. Joram is making sure that the undercut is going to be minimised. And Game for Life currently sat in P6 at the moment. He's a long way off, and he will need a miracle in this race, to be honest with you, if he's going to take the win. RaKiMaJe comes over the line to take the lead here of the Spanish Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. And where's Joram going to come out in relation to Green Pies? He's going to come out comfortably ahead of him. So Green Pies has had an absolute mare in the pit stops. I don't know what's happened there to Green Pies in the pits. I don't know if he had some kind of incident on his way into the pits or what's gone on, but he is a long way behind Joram and might possibly be requiring a safety. Oh no, Joram's lost it. Joram's crashed. Oh my goodness, you could not write this. You could not write this. He must have had a moment there with Ozanklin, as we saw him come out just ahead of Ozanklin. He's now lost the position to Green Pies, and Green Pies is into that final podium spot in place. This is incredible stuff here at Catalunya for round 2 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 Championship. You just don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. Green Pies is up into 3rd place and has now got the net lead ahead of Joram, and Ozanklin looks like he may have been a factor there in Joram's losing the car. But whatever it is, now Joram is chasing Green Pies down for the net lead. RaKiMaJe leads this race, and he's got 14 seconds back to Ozanklin. Is he going to come in this lap? No, he isn't. He's going to stay out for the time being. But I wonder whether RaKiMaJe is hoping that there's going to be a VSC or something, and then bring it into the pits under the VSC and possibly emerge with the race lead. Maybe, I don't know whether or not he's banking on that happening, but it could be potentially a strategy that he's trying to adopt here. But Green Pies sets the fastest lap of the race, having got ahead of Joram there, and he's now trying to chase down Ozanklin. Let's be aware that Ozanklin has not been into the pits to get those soft tyres changed. He does need to come in again at some point in this race, whereas Green Pies and Joram do not. So it's a question of now, does Ozanklin fight this one too hard, knowing that he's in a different strategy from these two? Green Pies looking to try and get the move done, can't get it done, has little looks here and there, but at the moment Ozanklin holding his ground. He's under no obligation to let these guys through, but morally it could possibly be the right thing to do, especially when it could harm his own race as well as these two. But he's, for the time being, he's holding on here for this 2nd place. Green Pies, though, within 0.2 of a second. Down the back straight they come. He's going to look to the outside here. Ozanklin, he cuts back to the right-hand side there. Green Pies doing his party trick once again. He switches it on there up the inside of Ozanklin. Gets a bit of a tap in the rear from Ozan as he gets his way through, but he's made it stick there, and Green Pies up into P2, and Ozanklin is going to hold on here from Joram. Joram looking to the outside, can't get it done, but Green Pies once again doing that switch that we've seen it do so often. Look to the outside, then at the last minute switch to the inside, coming into the braking zone. Absolutely phenomenal move there from Green Pies up into 2nd place here in this race. 10 laps left to go. I might actually make it on time for my GTE race tonight, guys. Who knows? We'll have to keep our eyes on this, but right now... Oh no, Green Pies has lost it all by himself, coming through turns 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. And Joram had also lost it in that final sector there. These two mirroring each other's races here. What is going on between these two? Well, the gap now between Green Pies and Joram is 2 seconds, so Green Pies has right now got that upper hand over him. But these two just seem to be synchronized spinning at the moment. Ozanklin now released a little bit ahead of these, but one thing that's absolutely crucial to this race now is that RaKiMaJe has got 18 seconds back to Green Pies and 20 seconds back to Joram. So now with these two fighting each other and having all sorts of errors coming into play, it could now be giving RaKiMaJe the opportunity to take this win. If he continues to do the consistent job that he's doing out the front and keep banging in the laps, then he could be in to take the race win here at Catalunya. It's definitely not off the table at the moment for RaKiMaJe to be in a position to take the win. But it looks like Pies are close back up onto the rear end of Ozan once again. He will have DRS down the start-finish straight, and but to be honest with you, I think that Ozan is going to be a sitting duck, and in fact he has come into the pits to get those soft tyres changed at the end of lap 24. So now he's going to get that sorted as Green Pies now moves up into P2, and Djphil-green following him through. 1.4 seconds separating these two as they're battling over the net lead here for round 2 of the season here in the F1 League. Green Pies took the win last season on F1 2020 and looks like he might be in for another win here at Catalunya if he can continue doing exactly what he's doing at this point. RaKiMaJe running 16 seconds ahead of this battle here between Green Pies and Djphil-green. Jaffa 6.5 seconds behind this pair in 4th place. Your Game for Life not too far behind now as well. He could really do with a safety car just to bring himself back into play, but I don't think that's going to happen now. With only 6 cars on the track, there's not likely to be another safety car here in this race. RaKiMaJe still running in the lead of the race. He's got 15 seconds back to Green Pies at the moment. Djphil-green currently running in that final podium spots, drops off the back of Green Pies a little bit now. 2.5 seconds separating these two in what is the battle for the net race lead. And these two now closing the gap to RaKiMaJe out the front. But RaKiMaJe electing to stay out for the time being. He's done 20 laps on those medium tyres. No mean feat. It's not easy to stretch them that far, but he's going strong and still pushing it by the looks of it. But he is now losing time quite considerably to Green Pies. You can see every single sector, every single corner, Green Pies is taking about a 10th out of him at every corner. And fastest up of the race there from Green Pies. And Djphil-green is out of the race for the 2nd week in a row. Djphil-green has crashed out from a very strong position. You can see there on the exit of the final corner, safety car deployed for the 4th time here in this race. This is absolutely incredible. Unbelievable stuff. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. Once again, the safety car deployed. Djphil-green, for the 2nd week in a row, looked like he was going to be on course for a podium, but he's DNF'd. He will pick up 0 points. That is heartbreaking there for him. That is heartbreaking stuff there. Put us in the comments, I'm done. Oh, you've really got to feel for Djphil-green there. He was pushing it to the limits in his battle there with Green Pies, but it's just unfortunately all gone wrong there. He's out of this race. RaKiMaJe is out in the lead, but now the big question is RaKiMaJe could come into the pits and emerge in the race here. 16 seconds he's got to Green Pies. This is going to be close, you know. This is going to be close. RaKiMaJe could keep the race lead. He's going to put a set of the softs on, you would imagine. Green Pies will probably come in. Yeah, Green Pies is coming in. So these two putting soft tyres on to go to the end. There goes RaKiMaJe, your race leader, RaKiMaJe, leading the pit box and about to get to the end of the pit lane now. And he could potentially be in a position to take this win. We saw it last week. He got overhauled by Game for Life right at the end. Could we be seeing a carbon copy of last week? Game for Life has been nowhere in this race in the second part. He's got the hard tyres on. Is he going to come into the pits and put some softs on? Yes, he is. And one man who doesn't need to come into the pits is Ozan. He put a set of softs on a couple of laps ago, so he might end up jumping Game for Life up in 4th place. That will make Game for Life's job just a little bit harder in these final few laps, as he'll be in 5th rather than 4th on the restart. But now this is absolutely wide open as to who could take this win. Jaffa is running in P2 with 7 laps left in this race, right on the back of the lead of RaKiMaJe. Having said that, though, RaKiMaJe is on the soft, as is Green Pies, Ozan and Game for Life. They're all on fresh soft tyres. Jaffa is on medium tyres, which are 5 laps old, so probably going to be a bit of a sitting duck for these drivers behind him. But amazing to see just how this race has developed, and 7 laps left to go here in this one. This could go any ways at this point. I wouldn't want to hedge my bets on any particular driver right now. Green Pies has got to be the man with the pace, but RaKiMaJe is the man with the ascendancy and the track position, and Game for Life sitting at the back of this pack, just sat there quietly, knows that he was able to pick up the win last week right at the death, managed to capitalise on RaKiMaJe's penalties. Let's hope for RaKiMaJe's sake that it's not going to be a repeat of last week and that he's kept his nose clean in terms of the track limits. I would have thought we'd be going this lap. Hopefully we are. Hopefully we don't have another lap on the safety car, because that'd be a bit frustrating considering that the entire pack is now closed up onto the safety car. But we'll have to see. Hopefully we'll go in this lap. No, safety car's staying out for another lap. That's a bit of a drag. Joam says, can you check after the race if mechanical failures are on? Yeah, of course, Joam. Yeah, well, I'll make sure. Might have been a bit of an error with setting up the lobby there, not sure. So here we go then. It's going to be a 6-lap dash to the end of the race here. RaKiMaJe leading us around, Djphil-green in second, Green Pies definitely going to be the man to watch here on this restart. Ozanklin in 4th place has been given another lease of life here in the final part of this race. Game for life, been given his lifeline here as well. He had no chance in this race, was absolutely nowhere coming into the final few laps of this one. And this retirement from Joram, DNFing in the final part of the race, has really blown it wide open. Good then, guys, coming out of the final corner now, and it looks like RaKiMaJe and Djphil-green both picked up penalties there for speeding under the safety car. We're underway once again. Here we go, and Djphil-green's gone, and RaKiMaJe, what's he doing? RaKiMaJe's been overtaken there by Ozanklin. Green Pies looked like he was a little bit tardy getting away there as we're coming up to turn 1 once again. Game for Life just sat behind me. He's waiting to try and pounce if he can. Djphil-green leads, 1.3 seconds he's got over Ozanklin, who's got RaKiMaJe just behind him, and Game for Life and Green Pies has dropped down to last place here on this restart. Not what Green Pies would have been wanting there. He's lost out enormously there in that little exchange, and he's going to have to really fight now in these final 6 laps of this race. But Djphil-green leading the race, didn't see that one coming at all, but he's got the ascendancy now, he's got track position. Is he going to be able to do anything with this here? We'll have to see. Ozanklin dropping off the back of Djphil-green, really keeping the pressure on him. Game for Life and Green Pies. Green Pies is trying to get this move done on Game for Life if he can. At the moment, tucks in behind, can't get it done. As he's looking to the outside now, Green Pies has got the run. Game for Life is going to have to defend the inside line, and I think he's going to hold on for the time being. The McLaren versus the Haas, and the McLaren comes out on top there. Game for Life just running Green Pies out of road there and giving it nothing to work with. Djphil-green's got 1.5 seconds out of the front over Ozanklin, with RaKiMaJe 0.3 of a second behind. He's got Game for Life and Green Pies very hot on his heels now at the moment. But here we go then, final 5 laps of this race. Lap 29 of 33. Djphil-green leads 1.4 seconds. Ozanklin taking a little bit of time out of him through that final sector there. RaKiMaJe's now got the run here on Ozanklin, looking to the outside, and Green Pies is looking to the outside of Game for Life as well. Can't get it done, tucks back in once again. But wow, this is incredible racing here, as we can see now RaKiMaJe's having to defend the inside line. Green Pies getting the move done ahead of Game for Life up into 4th place. He's now looking to make the move on RaKiMaJe, but RaKiMaJe is going to hold the position for now. Green Pies tried to distract him in the mirrors if he could, but he can't do it. The feint to the inside comes to no avail. Green Pies once again looking to make the move, and RaKiMaJe now looking to the inside of Ozanklin. And now Green Pies is going to drive clean around the outside of RaKiMaJe. RaKiMaJe left himself wide open there. He was offline. He was a little bit fishtailing there as he went around the corner, and Green Pies capitalises, and now Game for Life tries to follow him as well. Can't do it. RaKiMaJe once again pulls him over to the side and just runs him out of road. Green Pie's now looking all over the back of RaKiMaJe, coming down to the end of the back straight. Can't get it done at the moment, but Green Pie's there, already picking up 2 positions on this restart. And great stuff there from Green Pies. Well, having said that, he lost the 2 positions on the restart, but then since then, he's done really well to get himself back into it. Throws one to the inside, trying to force Ozan-Clin's hand a little bit. Oh, and RaKiM's lost it. No, not RaKiM. Yes, it is. It's RaKiM. He's lost it. Game 5 up into 4th. Didn't really see how that happened. I think he might have lost that by himself there. But he's way off the pack, and that's pretty much thrown his chances of a podium to smoke. Jaffa-Cake leads by 1.3 seconds. And Ozan-Clin's having to defend this position here from Green Pies. As Green Pies looks to the outside into turn 1. Can't get it done at the moment. Ozan-Clin runs him out of road and holds on to P2 for now. This is such close racing here between these guys for P2, and they're at the moment giving Jaffa-Cake a chance to just disappear off into the distance here. Green Pies looking to the outside, tries to get it around the long way here of Ozan-Clin. Ozan-Clin's too wise, two on the ball for that one, and at the moment is holding on grimly for this P2. But this is absolutely incredible stuff here, as these guys have pulled out a couple of seconds to Game for Life, now dropping off for this a little bit. Can he get himself together in these final 3.5 laps? We'll have to see. RaKiM so unlucky with that spin coming through the chicane on the final part of that previous lap. He's now way off of these guys in 5th place. Jaffa-Cake though has the lead. Ozan-Clin's once again got Green Pies throwing that little feint, fakes the switch coming towards the braking zone. Oh, Ozan-Clin's wide and Green Pies surely going to pick up a position. He has, but I think Ozan-Clin's still going to be there. No, he slams the brakes and then avoids him, and Green Pies is up into 2nd place. 1.3 seconds separating Jaffa-Cake and Green Pies, and Green Pies is going to try and make this 2 wins from 2 Catalunya in a space of 2 seasons. He took the win last season. He's already looking to the outside of Jaffa-Cake. Jaffa-Cake gets a horrible run there coming out of the chicane. Green Pies will have DRS here coming down the start-finish straight, and Jaffa-Cake defends the inside line. Green Pies is going to around that side, and I think this is going to be job done here for our man in the Haas car, last season's runner-up in the championship. Swoops round into the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix here at Motive Red. He goes a little bit wide there, almost tags the sleeping policeman as he continues to hold on to the lead. Jaffa-Cake looking to try and come back at him coming through turn 3, but it's going to come to no avail, and Green Pies has the lead of the race. Now Jaffa-Cake's got to watch out, because Game for Life is on the prowl in 3rd place. Ozan-Clin drops back to 4th place in that little exchange there. But what is Game for Life got to offer here? He's on to the back of Jaffa-Cake, and we know that Game for Life has got the pace to challenge Green Pies. Green Pies needs to get away and use this time that he's got in clear air to try and put the gap between himself and Game for Life, because Game for Life is going to try and get around Jaffa-Cake, and once he gets ahead of him, he's going to be really gunning all out to get after Green Pies. Jaffa-Cake's going to defend here with everything he's got from Game for Life as they get into the braking zone for turn 9. At the moment, Jaffa-Cake's holding on ahead of Game for Life. How much longer is he going to be able to hold him off for, though, as they're coming in towards, we're about to start the penultimate lap here of this race. Green Pies has already pulled out 2 seconds, so he's made the most of this clear air that he's got, and Game for Life, I think, is going to fall short here, because he's going to spend too much time behind Jaffa-Cake, and that's just going to allow Green Pies to drive out of the last corner. They come to complete lap 32, to complete lap 31, sorry, onto lap 32. And now we can see Game for Life getting pushed onto the grass a little bit. Oh, that was a bit sketchy there from Jaffa-Cake, as he really got aggressive there to defend the position, and Game for Life hasn't been able to get around him. Jaffa-Cake, though, was all over the place and pushed him off the track there by the looks of it. That was questionable indeed, but holds on to P2 for the time being. Ozan-Clin still sat in 4th place just behind these guys, but that looked a little bit below the belt there, certainly from Jaffa-Cake, and it's now 3.5 seconds that Green Pies has got out the front of a lead over these guys. Green Pies looks set to take the win here on his return to Motive Racing's Formula 1 League, barring any major catastrophes here in the final part of this race. Game for Life is sat in 3rd place right now with Ozan-Clin just behind. But this is unbelievable stuff here right now, as Game for Life still can't find a way around Jaffa-Cake. Now Green Pies has got 5 seconds out the front. Ozan-Clin still watching this battle go on, and could potentially be on for a podium if he can play his right. As now we can see Game for Life is all over the trumpet. Jaffa-Cake out of the last corner. He will have DRS again. Surely he's going to get the move done this time. Is Jaffa-Cake going to go aggressive once again? He looks to the inside now. Game for Life is surely going to have this move done coming into turn 1. He's going to have it done before the braking zone into P2. Game for Life. Djphil-green can't come back at him into turn 1. Ozan looking to try and get a move done. Djphil-green can't get it done. But Game for Life up into second place here. On the final lap of this race, he was really giving everything he could. He was struggling to get the move done there. Djphil-green was defending it with everything he had. But he's now up into P2. Ozan still trying to get this move done up into third place. Is it going to come to any avail into the final half of this race? RaKiMaJe running in P5, closing in on this back, but I think it's going to be too late for him. And he's not going to be able to pick up those positions. With Green Pies, though, last season's runner-up in the championship, led last season's standings for pretty much the entire season up until the last couple of rounds. In the end, got overhauled by Just Jose. Came back to the F1 League here at Motive with the intention of righting the wrongs of last season's defeat to Just Jose. And he's at a track here which he won at last season. He dominated the race last season at Catalunya. Tonight, he's not added his own. He's had to really fight. He's had to push. He's had to get his elbows out and fight for everything he's had. Green Pies is going to come out of the last corner here at Barcelona to Catalunya here in Spain. He's going to take the victory in the hat. He takes the flag, and Green Pies is your winner for the second season running. A great drive from him. Game for Life takes P2 there, 5 seconds behind in second place. And it looks like Ozan is going to pick up a podium spot due to Djphil-green's penalty there. So great job from Ozan. RaKiMaJe takes 5th place. And that looks like it is that then for the race. Djphil-green takes driver of the day. For me, I've got to give my driver of the day to Green Pies because he's returned to Motive Racing. He didn't have it his own way. He really had it up against him for a lot of it, but he came through it and ultimately fought like a champion to take that victory. So congratulations to Green Pies on taking P1 in that one. Well-deserved victory there for him. Commiserations to Joam for a second week in a row, crashing out from a very, very strong position. Last week it was the lead. This week it looked like he was nailed on P2. But then again, with all the drama we had at the end, it could have been very different. But what a race, what an event, and a big thank you to everybody who tuned in once again. So a big congratulations to Green Pies on taking maximum points and the race win, and the fastest lap as well. Not pole position this time. That accolade goes to Game for Life. The Game for Life brings it home in P2. Ozan completing the Djphil-green, RaKiMaJe completing classification. Joram, DJ Phil, Nemvid, Mr. Battle, Atanas, and Penguin did all retire from the race prematurely. But unfortunately, guys, we've got to wrap it up pretty swiftly because I have got a race over on Project Cars 2 and GTEs to attend to. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody who joined us on the stream, to those of you who liked, to those of you who commented, and make sure you join us next time for round 3 of the season here at the Formula 1 League. But so a very big thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.